I cannot believe we are now a quarter of the way through 2023, and we have seen some amazing games already launching onto Xbox. From Hogwarts Legacy to Atomic Heart, we have seen some big hitters already making a splash this year, and it's certainly not slowing down. Today we will cover 15 games arriving onto Xbox this March, and some of these will be arriving day one onto Game Pass. Without further ado, let's dive into the games. So first up and landing on the 1st of March is BENDY and the Dark Revival, which is finally coming to Xbox consoles. This is a first-person survival horror game set in the creepiest cartoon you've probably ever seen. In this world, you'll be solving puzzles, combating ink-tainted enemies, and evade the ever-lurking ink demon while getting back to the real world. This game is utterly phenomenal, and from experience, it's great to have such an awesome horror game that actually has frightening moments. The game has reviewed incredibly well on other platforms, so get ready for this amazing adventure. Additionally, joining BENDY and the Dark Revival on the 1st of March is Leap. Now this is completely different from a horror story, but instead an incredibly fast-paced multiplayer first-person shooter in huge, large-scale epic battles. The game is in early access and is coming across to consoles from a pretty mediocre launch, but giving this game a go, it's certainly a lot of fun and the visuals are pretty decent. The problem now is that the game is dead on PC due to a wealth of technical issues, from gun balancing to partying up with friends, so hopefully this is fixed prior to the console's release. Now, on to the 3rd of March, we have many gamers' most anticipated release of this month, and that is Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Not only is this releasing, but it's also arriving onto Xbox Game Pass day one, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the full release. This is a Souls-like coming from the extremely talented Team Ninja, the developers behind the popular Neo series, and this time it takes us to the dark and desolate version of the later Han Dynasty. This game is set within the Dynasty Warriors universe, so get ready to battle some well-known characters from Lu Bu to Guan Yu. If you're dying to try this game, then you can prior to release, as there's a demo currently in the store, and all progress of this demo will carry over to the full game release. As we move through the month a little bit more, we have our next release, and that is Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. The award-winning and fan-loved game is back and looks better than ever. This is a Japanese survival horror game that has you taking control of 4 different characters, navigating a variety of different eerie environments. You will face hostile ghosts using photography, and to be honest, that's what completely freaks me out already. The game has only ever seen a Japanese release on the Wii, but finally comes across to the West with localization, and it's a great time to dive into this fantastic Japanese horror experience. On to our next title, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it's the next installment of the popular Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig World Adventures will again take us all on an adventure with Peppa, George, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig, but this time across the wider world. You will get to make pizzas in Italy, walk on Hollywood Boulevard, and climb the Eiffel Tower. Alongside this, you will now be able to create your own unique family home, meeting more characters, and go on even more enjoyable quests. This is the next game of the year that we all wanted, and I cannot wait to get all the achievements in this new entry. Now, one game I am very much looking forward to is Figment 2 Creed Valley. Now, this is an action-adventure puzzle game set in the human mind. As you can guess, it's completely weird and has some really unique mechanics, especially as it's centered around nightmares spreading throughout the human mind. I played the first installment a couple of years ago, and I was blown away with the awesome gameplay, intriguing storyline, and gorgeous hand-drawn visuals. This new entry aims to amp everything up to 11, and I cannot wait to dive into this title when it finally arrives. Up next, we have probably the most anticipated game on this list for March by many gamers out there, and that is the Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is a reimagining of the cult classic from 2005, but this entry brings an incredibly in-depth overhaul visually and mechanically. From what we have seen, the gameplay and visuals look utterly outstanding, but also keep the heart and soul from the original release. The developers have stated on multiple occasions that this rendition of Resident Evil has been modernized, and that parts of the original story have also been reimagined in today's era of gaming. I cannot wait to dive in again as Leon Kennedy, so stay tuned for more information and news around this release. One game that is arriving onto Xbox in March and straight onto Xbox Game Pass is the next installment in the popular MLB franchise. MLB The Show 23 is arriving onto Xbox March 28 and promises to be the biggest release in the game's history, including a wealth of additional content and features. If you're a fan of baseball, then you will need to play this game when it drops this March. In addition to MLB, we have another game arriving onto Xbox this month and Xbox Game Pass, and that is the widely successful, highly anticipated, and downright fantastic Valheim. This is the indie Viking survival game that took the world by storm back in 2021, and it is clear to see why with some of the best survival mechanics in a game of its kind. Players will be able to craft, fight, and survive across a gorgeous open world where mystery and death lurk around every single corner. It finally comes to console, and I for one couldn't be happier to see this release. If you haven't played Valheim yet, then it lands onto Xbox on the 14th of March. Now, our next title is a horror-based fishing game. I bet you've never heard those words together before. Black Salt Games' horror fishing single-player RPG casts players as a fisherman exploring a remote archipelago for a variety of fish and hidden treasures. Players will encounter quest-giving island residents and learn about their past as they upgrade their vessel, learn new skills, and encounter increasingly unusual sea life. This game is incredibly unique, and I would never have had this game on my radar without looking up more about it. It comes sailing onto Xbox on the 30th of March. March seems to be an incredibly strong month for sports fans, and another big entry is coming to Xbox. WWE 2K23 is touted to be even stronger this time around, with expanded features, gorgeous graphics, and a deep roster of WWE superstars and legends. Alongside all of this cool new stuff, 2K have included an interactive sports documentary where you'll be able to play through the key and toughest moments of John Cena's 20-year journey into the WWE. I for one have never been a massive fan of the genre, but I appreciate there are many dying out there for a new entry, so keep your eye on this one when it lands in the ring on March 17th. The strategy game nerd inside of me is very giddy with excitement this month, especially as one of my favourite games is coming to consoles for the very first time. Anno 1880 is the console port we all needed from the incredible series on PC. In Anno, you will lead your own industrial revolution and craft your path to define the world around you. If you're a fan of city builders, then this is one of the best on the market, which includes an in-depth story, a highly customizable sandbox mode, and so much more. It's great to see the game arrive for consoles, and from previews, the console controls work incredibly well. It launches onto Xbox this March 16th. Up next, we have yet another sports game, and it is EA Sports PGA Tour. This is the gaming giant's first foray into golf since 2015, and it will feature 30 courses at launch. As well as that, you'll be able to play with some of the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour's biggest stars. The old PGA games developed by EA were some of the best in the series, and this new edition looks gorgeous compared to the old 2K developed titles. I mean, with Frostbite technology, I don't think we expected any less. This looks like the definitive golfing experience for any fan or newcomer, and it swings onto Xbox March 21st. Well. Personally, my most anticipated game on this entire list is the martial arts brawling game called Sifu. Now that the exclusivity period has ended with PlayStation, we are finally seeing the release of this indie gem on Xbox consoles, and with even more awesome looking content. The arrival of Sifu on new platforms is paired with a free update called Arenas. This update brings new challenging arenas to complete, which in turn unlocks new cheats, outfits, and even more moves to use in combat. Sifu launched to critical praise and commercial success on release, and it's great to see it come to Xbox. There's no fixed date as of yet, but it's certainly coming this month. Now, I have mentioned this game in my previous Xbox Game Pass videos, but this March we are finally seeing the release of Way to the Woods. This game has been in the works now for years and provided us with many trailers, but there's still a massive air of mystery around this title. This game is an atmospheric third-person action-adventure game about a deer and a fawn who will try to make their way through a strangely abandoned world, searching for their home. We are due to hear more details soon, so stay tuned for more info. We do have a couple of honourable mentions, and first up is GHOSTWIRE Tokyo. Currently, it's not confirmed whether or not this open world horror game is coming to Xbox in March, but this is around a year since the PlayStation launch, which means exclusivity should be coming to a close very soon. I will update everyone once the game has been confirmed, so stay tuned to the channel as no doubt it will be arriving onto Game Pass. Then Forza Horizon 5 is getting a brand new expansion called Rally Adventure. I would have included this within the list, however this is still classed as a DLC no matter how much content is arriving. A brand new area is being introduced introduced in this DLC called Sierra Nueva and provides us with more races, 6 new biomes, 10 new cars, and so much more. It arrives onto Xbox on March 29th. What game are you looking forward to this month? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more Xbox content and like the video if you enjoyed. Check out the video on screen for 20 amazing open world games coming to Xbox in 2023.